Okay, so welcome to the Cinema Snobs VR Cast, and I am Jimmy.
And I'm Jake.
And this is episode 14, September 2025, with a special show with our special guest, Mom. Our mom, well, your mom, my wife. It's the mom and son picks. So Jake picked a film for his mom to watch, and she picked a film for Jake to watch. And the movies are Say Anything by Cameron Crowe and The Gray Zone by, is it Tim
Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson
Yeah.
from 2001, which is a Holocaust film. So very, very contrast of two picks here. But the point is for something that that he felt that his mom would want to watch and something she felt he should see. And so let's, but before we get into those, we'll bring her back when we get to after the break. But let's talk about what's been going on. So what's been happening with you? I think we've been watching a lot of movies lately.
I've
getting
been
back on track.
I always say I've been doing bad. I've been getting back on track, but that's all thanks to first my Saw marathon, which was actually it started pretty all right until we got to part 2. It lasted one film until it got painful. Then I was like, all right. 2, what the hell is this, man? And then 3 was like worse, and then 4, 5, and 4 or 5 are like, oh my god, like actual pieces of shit. Sorry, but like then 6 and 7 are like bad. No, 6 is bad, but not that bad. 7 goes back to bad, and you know how it works.
Yeah.
And then we get to Chris Rock, and then it's like, But anyways,
well, let me ask you first off. Why did you decide just out of nowhere, I'm going to watch the Saw films, all of them?
Because I watched the first Saw, and then I was like, I never watched all of them. So then I was like, they're all like 90 minutes, so why not?
So you just decided to watch the first one again and revisit, because you did see it a long time ago. Probably didn't remember much.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's
okay.
I seen 1 and 2, and then I also seen Spiral. Those are really the only ones I seen, if I remember correctly. Oh, I seen 3 also.
So then after that, what was your next marathon? Then you started getting on a little horror kick.
The next marathon I did was Friday the 13th. I didn't rewatch the first one, so I just watched 11 of those. Yeah, a lot of those are painful too, but that's all right. And then we get to Child's Play.
Okay, well, let me ask you.
As painful, but it was pretty bad.
Let me ask you real quick, just we can stamp it right here on the show, but because this is always a big debate and talk on a lot of horror talk radio shows and podcasts. But what was your favorite Friday the 13th out of all after seeing them all?
Okay, if anyone says that their favorite Friday the 13th isn't either the first one, the second one, part 4, or part 6, they're just objectively wrong. Because everything else is honestly not good. Okay, I'm not even 6 and 4. 6 is my favorite, but it's not a good film. You know what I mean?
Enjoyable, right?
Like I enjoy it, yeah. But if you're talking about like what's the actual best one, most well made, it's part 2.
Huh?
Which isn't even that great.
Yeah. My favorite is 4 as far as enjoyable, and I think the best made. I mean, 2 was like definitely a sign of its time. Like it definitely had that, like even part 1 feel, like that real like guerrilla style filmmaking. So I can see that.
Yeah.
But I think it got a little more polished and like really made Jason what he would ultimately just keep going as and getting crazier and more violent and everything. And the makeup effects and just story, even like 4, I thought. But that's like I said, it's a big debate. But we could talk about Friday the 13th all we want in another show. But anyways, what else?
Who says anything other than 1, 2, 4, 6?
Some people say no, you're right. Like 4 is a big number 1 for a lot of people. But then there's those people who want to be like different and be like 5 is their favorite, which I like 5 a lot, but it's not the best one.
5 is the first. 5 is the first like truly bad one.
Yeah, but it's so trashy fun. That's why it's grown on me. It's kind of like a Halloween 3 to me. But I'm not defending. I'm just answering the question of who's out there. There are people that do like, but I would say most people do like 4. And you're right with 6 as well. 6, I think 6 is more of a younger generation who kind of got into them a little late. Like they always say, it like it was my first one I seen in a theater, so that's why it's their favorite. But
I was only alive for one of them.
And I seen every Friday the 13th in the theater except one. Opening week. Yep.
Really?
Amazing. Shout out to Mike.
Well, if we want to talk about the actual best film I've seen, Uh, I went to the theater quite a lot recently. I seen the Smashing Machine, which I thought was great. I actually like it a lot more than other people have been saying. They're
Yeah,
calling it like cliche, like, oh, it goes the same way that all these like sports biopic films go. Why did they even make a biopic on Mark Kerr? You know what? These are actual like rational arguments against the greatness of this film, but the performances are amazing.
yeah,
I just like how Safdie directs. Like I really do.
yeah,
Everything about his style I enjoy. I'd watch any film by that guy. So I enjoyed the film a lot. But the best film, I didn't really got to get in depth. It's just like pure art,
yeah.
amazing direction, amazing editing, amazing performances, perfect script. Everything, use of music is one battle after another. It's a modern
I
masterpiece.
agree. That's so far my favorite movie of the year because it's I
Yeah,
gave it 4.5, so that has to be. That's going back a little bit. I'm thinking about what was Ari Aster's film? Eddington was
Eddington. Yeah,
number one until I saw
I
one, but
loved
after another.
Eddington too.
One, but after another was just pure surprise number one because I love P.T. Anderson's films, and I knew this was going to be definitely different. Is probably most commercial, like action orientated kind of a film, so I had no doubts that it was going to crush it on every aspect. But I really didn't think it was going to be so universally um, liked by a lot of people that don't even really know who he is. But like that movie really
Sure, yeah.
deserves to be.
It's like really relevant. That's why.
Everyone needs to see that movie, and I know it's got some. There's a lot of political um, bias on it. There's a lot of people were calling it like a left movie, and I mean I guess it is, but it's just like, hey, it's a film. It's about that perspective. So someone go make the right movie, whatever, the right side movie, you know. But I mean, um, I just think it's just the perspective of that character, and there are people too, and so they had some shit going on. And, Leo's who fell in love with a freedom fighter, and someone who was a political activist, right? Would you say they're political activists, or are they? Is that the term, or are
I
they
mean,
just
they
free
were literally
fighters?
terrorists, if you ask me.
They were, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah, they were bombing buildings.
that's what I'm
Uh,
saying. It was just like kind of like, but they lived. That's what I'm saying. It was just a perspective of those people, and they're people
yeah,
too. Even like they go have.
I know. And my
I'm not
argument
saying they
against that
deserve to
is
go to
like,
jail when they get caught, but I'm just saying,
exactly, yeah.
they should have went to
My
jail when they got
argument
caught.
against that, people saying like, oh, why are they glorifying the lifestyle of these people? And I'm like, you know, I don't think anyone really watched the film and be like, "Oh, I idolize Leo. I want to be like him." Like, no, he's
Yeah,
kind of a bum. He's kind of a douchebag.
yeah,
But like, you can like him because he's a good dad. That's why you like him. You don't like
right.
him because he was like a bad guy, and whatever he fought for a cause that he believes in, a lot of other people believe in. Like, that's great. But I don't think PTA is like throwing it in our face and being like, "Oh, you guys should
Yeah,
believe what this guy believes." Like, no,
but
we
he
just
did the
want him to
right
get his
thing.
daughter back.
You're so right. Like that's it. Like he did the right thing, making his relationship with the daughter the key
Yeah,
point of the
yeah,
film, because that's what he's saying. Is
exactly.
like,
Everything
yes,
else is just a backdrop.
this is right. This is who he is, even though he's this bad guy or done these bad things. He's still, this is his story, and he's still a father. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like Devil's Rejects when we go into that film. Like as far as like making bad guys likable, it's like a lot of people hated Devil's Rejects for that reason, but it was just the perspective of what it's like to be on the inside of killers. I mean,
Sure.
look at Natural Born Killers. Same thing. They were likable characters. Even though they were just extremely horrible people. Um, so that's, no one really said nothing then at the time, did they? I don't even, I have to even go back and think about that. But like they
I don't know. Maybe I
films
don't
that
like that style.
show the bad. Like what's the word? I know is a better term for like showing the um, life of the bad people, whatever. It's like, just get into the story, get into their perspective. In other words, have empathy, and then you can follow
Yeah.
any story. I mean,
I mean, you know what? Maybe that I don't like that kind of. I mean, I think Natural Born Killers is a pretty solid film. I don't love it, but
yeah,
it's not like I don't like it. Like I think it's a good film. Not much more. And then there's Devil's Rejects, which I just don't like Rob Zombie, so that's
yeah. There's a
that.
lot of
But
other
like,
reasons why you don't have to like the film, but I'm saying that was a
there's
key thing that people didn't like. Is that why like the bad? They're bad people. I can't follow these people.
yeah, they're like hedonistic killers for no reason. But I feel like the best example of like following the bad guys and like actually rooting for them.
Yeah.
And I don't think once they kill people, I think it's hard to do that. So that's why I think Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is like that,
Oh, it's another
the
good
best
example.
example of that,
Yeah.
like the greatest example.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's I agree. That's so far
Or
one
like
of my
Robin
favorite
Hood or
movies.
something.
It's going to come up again, that movie, as far as being on the charts and stuff like that for the year. But all right, was there anything else? Let me think now. Yeah, I just kind of been watching a lot of getting ready for the Halloween season, so I've been getting ready for that. So starting to watch horror again. We saw. I know we talked about weapons already. What's another horror film that we seen? I think that was
I
really the
still need to
last.
see Sinners.
Oh yes, yes, Sinners. Well, that's already up there. Yeah, there's a lot to come. We're getting into the great months now, man. We're getting into the fall and gonna go through a lot
Oh,
of
you know what?
films.
I'll mention one
Yeah,
more thing.
yeah.
The documentary Saquon,
Oh yeah,
um, about Saquon Barkley. I
yeah.
literally just put it on because I was with mom and I was like, I know she likes football. So, and I used to like football obviously, and I used to follow Saquon Barkley like a lot. And I
Hmm.
always thought he was a good guy, but I didn't realize like wow, he's so humble, like he's actually talented. And then I seen in the beginning it was executive producer Martin Scorsese, and like what the hell?
Oh
Why is he
wow,
attached to this?
God,
So
that's
then I just
crazy.
watched it.
That's crazy. That's like, see, there's a connection. It was like it was calling you, right? You had no idea.
Yeah, for real.
That's
I had
awesome.
literally no idea, yeah. But it was a
Well,
good documentary. I'm surprised no other like there hasn't been like a documentary like that and like a really wide scale. I'm happy it was about Saquon Barkley.
speaking of mom, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back because mom is our guest this month, and we're gonna watch and talk about Say Anything. So we'll come back and talk about Say Anything, and this is gonna be fun. So we'll be right back after this.
The heat, your eyes, I am complete, your eyes, I see the doorway, the thousand churches, your eyes, the resolution, your eyes, of all the fruitless searches. Oh, I see the light and the heat. Oh, I wanna be that complete. I wanna touch the light, the heat, I see your eyes.
Okay, so welcome back to the Cinema Snobs VR Cast, and we have our guest for this month, which is Mom, and we're going to talk about the film that she picked. What was the movie that you wanted Jake to watch? This was the assignment.
Say
Jake
anything.
to watch this. Okay.
Say anything.
Say anything. Now, why did you pick Say Anything for Jake to watch? Like, I know that we talked about this before, but just for people who might not have seen the teaser from last month.
Well, I love that iconic scene in the movie where he holds up the radio.
Right.
I like that scene.
People are literally dressing up like they used to dress up with that for Halloween. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it's just funny. Like that song was popular. Do you remember, Don, when I went to pick you up one time?
Yep.
And all your girls, I'm like, I know I'm going to win some points here, but all your friends were out in front, and I was pulling up to pick you up, and I had the Peter Gabriel song blasting.
That was like a few years ago at Red Rock.
I had the Peter Gabriel song blasting, and all your friends was like, "Man, he's so awesome."
Aww.
If they knew that, they were all youngsters. They didn't even know it. All right, so Jake.
A couple of them did from their mothers.
So we'll talk about this. This is a movie from 1987, right, Jake? Was it 87?
89.
Oh my God. Okay, 89. Oh shit. So I was 19 years old in high school. No, I just graduated high school. And this movie was very popular. It's if you looked into it a little bit, it's Cameron Crowe's directorial debut. And he wrote and directed. And it's obviously I didn't know who Cameron Crowe was at the time because, like I said, it was his first film, but he was obviously a voice that was coming up, and he was like John Hughes. He had that John Hughes vibe where he like knew what young people wanted. He was a very young writer and director at the time. But
I just learned something by looking at this poster.
Mm-hmm.
It says co-producer Richard Marx. Is that Richard Marx, like the singer Richard Marx?
You know what? It's not, because I think he spells it with an X. Isn't Richard Marx with a Marx?
Oh, I don't know.
So
Oh,
I don't,
yeah,
I don't,
maybe.
I don't think it is.
Okay. All
But
right.
but yeah, I mean,
Forget it. Sorry
you
for
probably don't know
interrupting.
much about the insights of the insides of the film, Don. But like this was the guy who directed Jerry Maguire, and he also directed Did he do High Fidelity? No, he didn't do High Fidelity.
No,
What's
he
the
did.
other
He
one he
did
did?
Vanilla Sky,
Yeah, Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise. He did.
Mm.
What was his other?
Almost Famous.
Almost Famous. Right, it was a great
Oh,
film,
okay.
which was about
Yeah.
his life. Well, we don't need to get into Almost Famous. Let's talk about Say Anything. So anyway, Jake, what did you think of it? And overall, what was your thoughts of the film? And Donna, ask him any questions
Yes.
to elaborate if you want to, if you're curious. So what did you think?
I mean, ultimately, for what the film was, it makes sense. It's iconic. It makes sense that like people still talk about this film. Like it's definitely one of the best like '80s romance comedies. So for what the
Mm-hmm.
film is, I think it's great, and I really enjoyed it. You know,
Oh, I love it. That's great.
Yeah. Well,
I
Usually
think
you
it was a
don't
very
like
good
movies
pick
I
by your
pick for
mom.
you.
Seriously. No,
All
yeah, it was great.
right.
It was better than
All right.
Cocktail.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I
you're
like
always
Cocktail.
you want him to watch. Of course, I'm getting Jake at an early age. I was getting him to watch horror films and just all kinds of crazy stuff. And hold on, and but you're the one who wants to kind of like give him a little bit of heart. This film definitely had a lot of heart. I thought it was
It does. Yeah.
it's a great love story. And like I
It is.
said in the setup from last month was, I really thought it kind of, did you feel, let's be honest, a little bit like your life about as far as having a girlfriend and like living far apart, because that is kind of where ultimately it ended, is
They
that
they
was a life they were going to live.
they weren't gonna live far apart though. You misled me with that. I thought it was gonna be like long distance thing. It really
Well,
wasn't. It was just like it was like he was like didn't really have much going for him, but like he was like a really genuinely good person. And then she was like the valedictorian, like had a lot going on with her, like she was gonna be successful. Him not so much, but they bonded just because like he
They're
was
good
like
people.
he was what she needed, you know?
yeah, and and she was what he needed. I mean, that's,
Yeah,
and I like the father story with the father, how he was kind of like, why are you wasting your
that
time with
was a
this
good
kind of guy? And
He was an
that was
embezzler,
good.
right?
Yeah, he
yeah,
was, yeah.
and then they had that
Yeah.
whole story, which was kind of odd, right, for like one of these teen movies where like they had this whole subplot of all this. But I
Yeah,
thought it was
but you know
great
what?
because it
I was
gave it
thinking the
reality.
entire time. Exactly. It really changed up the thing, up everything because I'm thinking to myself like there are thousands of films about like a guy meets a girl,
Romance.
they fall in love, and
Hmm.
then like towards the end they break up and then they get back together. It all goes the same way. So you have to throw in something that makes it unique, and what does make it unique is that subplot. But to
Yeah,
go along with that, I feel like this film is more charming and more memorable, not only because like Cameron Crowe has the ability like John Hughes does, like who's the director of School of Rock, Richard Linklater.
yeah,
He Those guys all had that like ability to like present youth how they actually are, you
right.
know.
Oh yeah,
So
What
like
did you think of
no one
that
can
scene
do that
when he
anymore.
picked up the radio?
Oh yeah, I knew there was something about that scene. It makes sense. It's a famous scene because there's just something about it, like the simplicity of it. Obviously,
Yeah,
you said the song's famous. I'm
right.
not really big into songs, so I I didn't know of it,
did you know, you never heard
but yeah,
that
I mean that
song?
was a great scene.
You never heard that song in
I
your life?
might have, but
Hmm.
I don't know it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't think, I don't actually own it, so I should, because I like it. But I play music all the time on our road trips and stuff, and I don't think I ever played that for you. But that was a very famous song.
It's a great song.
Mm.
And yeah, so again, like we were talking about Last American Virgin last month, about how like a lot of those great movies in the old 90s and 80s, 90s and stuff, how they just brought in the great songs of a time, and the soundtracks are always so great because they just were able to use all these songs, and then it just got so expensive over the years, and that's why you don't hear those kind of songs in movies
Well, yeah,
anymore.
we had to listen to
Hmm.
freaking
Yeah.
Whip It play in Last American Virgin like at least five
Hey,
times.
that's a jam.
I mean,
Right,
it's
and then
good, yeah,
they'll
but
do
Oh,
it a
where the
lot. Then
whip?
they'll play it so much. But yeah, like just it's just like they don't use that many pop songs nowadays because it's so expensive for older stuff. or they just force in new bands. It's all marketing for new stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's something that's missing. I mean, some guys are still doing it today, but not as much as they used to. That's for sure. So, yeah, like, what about just the whole acting of John Cusack? You like him as an actor, like in other movies?
He's great. Yeah, he's a great actor. I
Yeah.
honestly haven't seen him in a lot of films. But I mean, it would make sense if this is one of his more acclaimed performances. Like, but what happened to that guy? Like, genuinely, like, what is he
Well,
even
he
acting
kind of
anymore?
retired. I don't really see him. No, wait, I shouldn't say that. I know he's probably doing something television here and there, but like he's definitely not leading man anymore. He really was.
Yeah,
He was kind of like that simple guy next door, like the heartbroken. Uh, what they call these guys in these leading guys, but he was always like this, like simpleton, heartbroken regular guy, because he was great in High
yeah,
Fidelity. High Fidelity is another great movie you need to watch. He kind of plays that
yeah,
same character in High Fidelity, which is like,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of like, Woody Allen films. He was always like that, like you feel sorry for him because he's just, um, he's just looking for love, but he's just, so like into his own head and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
he's kind of like a modern day. Well, he was a modern day of Woody Allen. I see that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's funny because whenever we're on the podcast, I always find myself like bashing something or having like a really like powerful feeling about something, whether it's really a great feeling or a really bad feeling,
Mhm.
right? But like with a film like Say Anything, like it's a charming film. Like it's just a good film. I mean, I do have a lot to praise about it, but like it's like I can't be so passionate about something because I just like the film. There's nothing I didn't like,
Mm-hmm.
like
Nice.
it's
Yeah.
just yeah, it's
Well, a
it's a
lot of these
it's a
old
it's a great
movies
movie.
too, Jake. Like reason why we always wanted you to watch some of these. You already know this, but it's like it's not really about like, oh, you're gonna love it the way we did, because you could see right through that it was so much nostalgia. But there are
Yeah,
movies
Right.
that last through time, and it's just always the same story because it's a good story.
yeah,
Um,
Right.
and
Right.
it's directed well and acted well. All
yeah,
those main things. Now
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these newer movies, you're probably noticing everything is just about like getting famous actors and redoing something that's already been done. And it's just like, you know uh, you have
I'd
to go
rather see
back
a
in
movie
time.
without the famous actors because then I
well,
just
that's
the
what
whole
this is.
time I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
right. But
oh
at the
yeah, I
time,
remember when they did this. I remember when they did that.
yeah. Well, at the
Hmm.
time when this came out, like I
I'm
said,
talking
like
about currently, right?
Yeah,
none of these guys were famous actors. It was kind of like, wow, who's this guy?
Hmm.
You fell in love with,
yeah, kind of.
you
Yeah,
fell in love with John Cusack when this movie came out. You fell in love with Iona Sky when this movie came out. And
Hmm.
like, and that was also another thing too. I loved, this is something we didn't talk about, but I love how it really captured that like Seattle vibe, that time, because this was
yeah,
during that time when like rock was changing, it was getting
Grunge.
grungy.
It's like
Yeah, so like,
grungy.
so they started doing a lot of movies like in the grunge '90s era, and this really captured that Seattle
Hmm.
well, you
Northwest
know, 10 Things I
time.
Hate About You.
Yeah.
That's like late '90s, but that's also Seattle. I think that film captures Seattle
Mm.
maybe even better.
You know what? I never seen that movie.
Donna, what was the movie?
You would like it.
What was the movie that
Probably.
was based in Seattle, and it was with Matt Dillon, and it was all about like the grunge scene? Do you remember that movie? It was like they had
No.
like Pearl Jam in there, and they even fuck, what was the
No.
movie? Yeah, Matt Dillon. So bad. This is what happens when you get old. I can't. These movies don't come to the top of my head. But it was whoever is watching and listening is saying it right now. So yes, you're right. That's the one we're talking about. Anyway, okay, well, cool. Let's talk about ratings, and then we're gonna take a break and come back to the next movie. So let's, Jake, what was your rating for Say
I give it
Anything?
4,
Nice.
4 out of
Wow,
5.
4 stars, Don. That's
Wow.
good.
Yes.
Nice. All
Okay,
right. Good
Donna,
choice, Mom.
what do
It's
you
very good
always
choice.
remember this out of 5? What do you put if you had to re-rate it today? Just remembering everything about this film that you've seen again. Tell me what you feel. What stars?
Um. Well,
Out of
I
5.
would say 3.5. 3.5.
Wow. So that means you got something even
Yeah.
better up your sleeve. That
Oh yeah,
okay. Now,
for
not to
sure.
get too off topic, but what is a 4 or what is a 5 to you? For listen to
For
me. My
me,
question. For this kind of
okay.
romantic comedy, nostalgic kind of
16
movie.
candles, baby.
It has to take place on the Titanic.
Six.
Well, I already know
That's
that
the
answer.
ultimate.
That's why I
No,
didn't even
currently.
bother. No,
No,
like
during that
for this
time,
kind of story.
During that time.
Yeah.
16 candles.
So that is like your favorite high school movie,
Yes.
kind of.
Yep.
All right. So
Yep.
John Hughes. Yep. All right. Very cool.
And just some a bit of a fun fact. Jake over here was named after Jake Ryan, 16 Candles. Okay, that's it.
That's true.
Nah, Jake LaMotta.
Nope, Jake Ryan, baby.
That's true. You've seen 16 Candles, right, Jake?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think you.
Did you like that one better than this, or no?
I like this one more. Yeah.
Wow. I think this is a better film, like well-made film. Again, that's Cameron Crowe, and just showing he had so much potential and what he was going to become. But like, 16 Candles is definitely a more fun, memorable, time capsule of a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought Say Anything was really a good film that may have been overlooked. Yeah. So that's why I wanted you to see it. All right, cool. Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to bring it down a notch as far as and talk about the movie that Jake picked for Mom and me, because I never seen this, which was a film about the Holocaust, and we never ever heard this film. Jake knew of it and told us about it, and it's called The Gray Zone. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back. We're going to be talking about next film, The Gray Zone. This is much different than Say Anything. This is directed by Tim Blake Nelson, who you might have known as, he's from Holes. He's kind of a comedian actor, so him doing this is crazy. He's from Holes. He's from...
I looked him up, yeah.
There's another... He's an
actor, dude. He was
films.
He was the Buster Scruggs. He was
Buster Scruggs.
He's also in.
Wait, Holes the movie from when you guys were little that Dad made you watch?
Yeah, he's a funny guy. He's a comedian.
Yeah, I feel like he did a lot more acting.
He totally changed. He changed direction.
But so the way I kind of want to kick off this film is I just want to say that this is the kind of film. It's definitely probably one of the most underrated films maybe ever, in the modern time at least. And then to go along with that, like, it's the kind of film that, like, the only reason why it didn't get Oscar recognition is because it didn't have like super massively famous actors. Like, okay, Harvey Keitel, he's in it, but no one really cares about Harvey Keitel once the 2000s hits. Let's be honest. And then Steve Buscemi, massively famous actor.
But he's more of a.
He's always doing underground stuff.
Supporting, right? Supporting actors too.
Exactly. And then David Arquette, who people know as Dewey. So
dude,
them seeing in this is crazy.
Number one, first thought was like, is this the right film? David Arquette? Yeah. I'd never seen him do anything serious.
And that's a really weird cast. It is.
He was great in this.
He was great.
He is great.
Yeah.
Everyone's
and I'm
great.
Just surprised. A lot of people need to see
I'd like
this
to
movie.
talk about performance-wise. There are great performances in this, not going to lie. But what do you guys think of just in general Harvey Keitel with his German accent?
Oh, could I go
Okay,
first?
well.
Sorry. I was kind of like, wow, he's probably the best actor in this, as far as name and history and just filmography. And he kind of was a weak link, I thought. It was a bad accent, I thought.
I think
I had to ask you halfway through the movie to put on the subtitles because I couldn't understand him. I couldn't understand him.
Which is, because
I watched with subtitles.
Yeah,
they use so much slang, like just like terminology from the time, like military terminology, German words.
Yeah,
like he actually speaks a little bit of German in the film just every now and then, and that's why I watch with subtitles, anyways. But okay, that's probably the last like.
So do you agree? Do you agree that it was bad? His accent.
I mean, Harvey Keitel is the kind of guy who's like hit or miss. Not gonna lie. like when he played Judas in The Last Temptation of Christ. Like it's really easy to hate on Harvey Keitel because when he
plays
doesn't play a
himself.
dude from the Bronx,
Yes.
he doesn't fit in.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot play Judas, man. Like, I mean, Scorsese, I love you, but like, why'd you cast him as Judas? I think he did fine as Judas. I think he did fine here, but you know, he obviously works better as like bad lieutenant playing a cocaine addict in the Bronx. You know,
which is fine. But here's one thing you have to say about Harvey Keitel is that.
But then that doesn't make you a great actor if you.
Yeah, he's kind of playing himself. He's kind of like a Denzel Washington, where Denzel Washington could be in the Roman days and still talk like he's from the hood. You know, like he has that.
Denzel
slang.
is like much better than.
But you know what I mean? It's kind of like he has to be Denzel, and it's like Harvey Keitel has to be Cartel, even though he's supposed to be in Germany. You know, so I'm like okay with that because I like him.
But he's a good actor, though.
But that did turn me off. That's all. I did like him in the movie, though.
All right, so ultimately, like, it's probably the last like lighthearted thing we'll talk about. But like, what do you guys think of the film? Starting with Mom.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great. I never looked at my phone one time.
That's good.
So that's a good sign. I love this genre of movies. I know that kind of sounds weird to say, but I'm very interested in Holocaust, World War II, those kind of movies. Interest me, I guess, because it's history and it's real life and it really happened. I cried several times, not hysterically, but
I mean, that's what I wanted.
It was extremely sad and
really disturbing,
more disturbing, and
I think it was more disturbing than Schindler's List when it comes down to the way they killed him. Like they didn't.
It's like one of the bleakest films I've ever seen.
Graphic's not the right word, but this one seemed a lot more disturbing than even Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Well, even if it wasn't as graphic, you got the gist of, you just
How
hear
horrible.
people screaming and you see all of the, how they threw them in the ovens, and you've seen the piles of shoes and their hair. And I have been to Washington, D.C., and I've been to the Holocaust Museum there. And I seen all those for real pile of shoes and hair.
In D.C.?
It's in D.C. when I was a flight attendant.
No, but I thought you were in Germany. Didn't you go to Germany?
I was in Germany too, but I didn't see ovens or anything like that. I haven't been to any of the camps. My mom and dad have been to the camps. I've never been to a camp, but it was really disturbing, and it did what it was supposed to do. It hit my heart. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it was like I was almost thinking for a moment, because it was just so. It hit me so much that I was like, "This is kind of it felt like exploitation a little bit." I hate to say it that, but it's like more,
really like artistic though.
But it
it was for real.
But I mean exploitation, like not in the sense of like what we usually watch and stuff. Like I like to watch, but like it really just felt like, wow, I don't think it even had to explain so much and show so much. But then again, it's real. It was truth, so it's not exploitation. But it just felt like
I'm
that.
glad it did, because there's a lot of people out there who don't believe it happened.
Yeah.
So yes, they have to put that in, because it really happened. And for those people who don't believe it, I mean, I know it was a movie, but it was based off true events, and the fact that you had to like get all your fellow Jews in the basement and walk them in to those showers, knowing that you were killing them just so that you can survive maybe a couple more months before they do it to you.
Yeah, that was the whole hard-hitting story.
Imagine.
And then that story where David Arquette was like beating up the guy over to watch, and like that's where like it just showed how far evil took, how it grabbed hold of everybody. Exactly. And it's like
that was like one of the climax of the film, honestly, like the emotional climax of the film, besides like the end, obviously. But like, what did you guys think of just the fact that like it was a true story and how they actually rebelled? The only time like the camps actually rebelled successfully.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Not that successfully, but I mean that was a great scene. Like,
that doctor.
Mhm.
I will say one thing negative about the movie. That doctor was not portrayed as the evil bastard that he really was.
Yeah, they
Because the
kind of
doctor
gave him
did a
respect for the
lot of
story.
awful things, and you didn't really see in the movie how awful he was. He didn't seem like a good guy, but he at
Yeah.
all didn't seem like a bad guy at all.
You know what?
And
He
he was
kind
That's
an
of seemed
awful
interesting.
like he seemed
person.
like a coward,
That's
at
interesting because she's right. It's like I think they gave him respect because it wasn't the movie was for his
It was
perspective,
his
right?
yeah.
It was from his perspective. So in other words, they gave him like kind of respect to like, okay, this is your story, so we won't make you look so bad. But if it would have
That's
been
disappointing.
if it would have
He's
been
already
more the
dead, isn't he?
director's vision to
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna kind of say, okay, yes, we'll take your story, but we're also gonna call you out because he definitely, I don't know, he
Right,
was
but
no
that's
Schindler. He didn't help nobody. You know, he was no Schindler.
no,
You know,
he did things that are can't even talk
what he
about
had
on
to
the show.
do. No, but what he just had to do to survive. You know, for what? For an extra.
No,
I love that line. All this to survive just for to live an extra day.
They were only for 4 months.
Yeah, but like
Their
all this
4
for
months
just an
was
extra
coming
day.
to an end, so they knew that was it. Like, wow, just get one of those guns and I would take myself out.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that to people.
But I didn't know about the
But
story, but yeah, like this
horrible.
could have been one of those movies like if Tarantino. I was thinking, man, I wish Tarantino would have did this. He would have had a great ending, a happy ending, you know.
But
yeah, it was
there's no
like I wanted them to
happy
win
endings in
that
this whole-
revolution. That would have been amazing, but of
Yeah.
course, that's not how it ended.
It did break my heart because I was hoping that it was somewhat of the girl's story when she was running away. I was just hoping that she actually got away, and then those didn't end that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and just horrible.
All right, Jake. So well, I guess I don't know. Do you want ratings now, or is there anything else you wanted to ask us or add to? Because I overall like I said, it was really powerful. I'll definitely recommend it to so many people. Like already,
let me hear you guys.
Mom already told Nana and Papa, and they watched it. They watched it.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they already watched it.
Maybe we have to have them as a guest next.
I will give this movie. Gosh, I never even thought about that. So Saving Private Ryan to me, is still my number one. It's still my 5. I'll give this a 4.75.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because that's.
Well, you can't necessarily do that in Letterboxd, but we know what you mean.
It's
either a 4.5
4 or 5
or 1.5.
No, 4.5 then. 4.5. 4.5.
Yeah, I'm with Mom. How about you, Dan?
Oh, you could do that. You could do whatever you want, but I'm just saying as far as logging it. I'm saying a 4, and not. I don't know. It's like again, you know me. It's like I still have to throw a little bit of a half a star in there for enjoyment or not. So I mean, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I literally kind of felt like I didn't really want to finish it. You know, I actually had that feeling of like I kind of don't want to.
You didn't want to finish it because it was so heartbreaking.
No, just like I kind of didn't want to watch. Like I wasn't. No. It was more like I just don't want to feel this right now. I was kind of more in a mode of like watching something. I don't know. Like that was a hell of a pick.
Recommending
exactly.
Recommending me
I'd rather
say
watch
anything.
Daddy's Home and laugh.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Recommending say anything is like you can watch it anytime, but like that film, especially when you don't really know what's gonna come up, and then it's probably worse than you anticipated too. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So that in that sense, that was a good pick to just kind of like it's kind of like like a DJ. You're controlling the room, the feelings of the people in the room. Well, you controlled us. You literally said, "Mom and Dad, I want you to go down this path," and you did it.
So, well, it worked.
Yeah.
You know, but
I'm glad you recommended it because
yeah,
it was good.
It's crazy. I never heard of it. It was 2001. And Lionsgate put this out. And Lionsgate was really at the time they were putting out a lot of horror movies. They were doing, that's what they came up on.
Well, 2001 was a pretty somber year for us, so we probably didn't want to watch something even more somber.
That's true too. That I think the timing was kind of because what year was Saving Private Ryan? Like 99 or something?
98.
97,
98.
8.
He's 98. That sounds about right.
Because we had just gotten married.
So
I remember.
this was kind of not
Titanic and
the
Saving
best
Private Ryan.
time to put the
Yeah.
movie out because already like Schindler's List, hit it out of the park, and maybe they weren't ready for more of this. But of course,
Yeah.
Hollywood is like, let's capitalize on this and make another one. It probably was
Right, but
shot earlier.
2001 is 9/11 too. Like the last thing we want to do is watch this kind of stuff.
There you go. That's probably why it didn't
Like,
do well. Because
such a depressing.
Wait,
time.
what were you thinking when you said this wasn't a good year? I thought you were obviously thinking 9/11. What do you mean?
Yeah.
No. Well, I didn't.
You're
think
just saying
about
that they were kind of like filled up with like the Holocaust stuff.
Yes, I didn't think of 9/11 for one bit.
Almost 10 years ago from there. So
it just felt like to 99 and then 2001, 2 years later.
No, Schindler's List was 93.
Oh, well, that's what I asked you. With 93, I thought you said 98.
Saving Private Ryan was 98.
Yeah.
Oh, Schindler's List. Okay, God, I'm all confused.
Spielberg directed Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit for that.
Wow,
but anyway, just to cover what I was saying, I wasn't thinking about 9/11. I was just thinking about the Hollywood, marketing system. Like, okay, this is not the right time, and that's usually what they do. Right? They're like, let's put out movies that, are the zeitgeist of the time. But you're right. 2001 was 9/11, so all those movies, anything with darkness or horror.
Well, if they really wanted to capitalize on it, they would have casted much bigger actors, much bigger actors, and then they would not have let Tim Blake Nelson direct. Not that he didn't do a great job. I think he seriously did a monumental job, but they would have had like a bigger name do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
interesting.
Also, being 2001, I don't know when they actually, made the movie, but maybe some actors
it was definitely released pre
9/11.
It was
maybe
released
they weren't
like probably
in the mood
to
act. Like no one was in the mood to do anything. It was just depressing.
You guys would know more than me.
Well, it's great time capsule, that's for sure. Okay, well, we are gonna come back with what we're gonna do next month. But Mom, my wife Donna,
do I get to throw tomatoes?
Thank you so much for coming. No, that was the you could if you're right. You're always welcome to throw tomatoes. So. But no, we're gonna come back and talk about what we're gonna do next month. But
okay.
Thank you, and Jake, thank you for a great movie. And Say Anything was we hopefully enjoyed that. And we'll bring you back again, Don. Maybe if you want to pick something, and Jake, you can do something even crazier.
We could do a comedy.
Okay.
All right. Well,
so, yeah.
We'll be right back.
Okay. I just want to say something real quick.
Okay.
I like your outfit, Jake. You look very handsome.
Oh, thank you.
Red is your
orange
color.
Cowboy. The orange cowboy. All right, guys.
Right.
Thank you. We'll be back.
See you later.
Hello and welcome back to Cinema Snobs VR Cast, and we're gonna discuss what we're gonna do for next month's show, and it's gonna be just Jake and I. So we're gonna go back to old times, and I'm gonna pick a movie for him. He's gonna pick a movie for me, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Halloween. It's gonna be October, so by the time you see the show, so let's pick some horror films. So what did you pick for me? Because we wanted it to be something I never saw before, that you've always wanted me to see. So what did you pick for me?
Well, I picked for you Onibaba, which is, in my opinion, probably the best Japanese horror film that's ever come out. Like, not only is there scary imagery, but it also just tells a genuinely, like, really great story, which I think a lot of horror films lack, especially nowadays. But this just came out during like the golden age of, I think, Japanese films, the 60s.
Was it? Yeah. What year was it exactly? You remember?
One can argue honestly, I should have researched. I'm gonna say like
It's all right. I'll put it up on the screen.
mid to late 60s for the Onibaba.
And who directed it?
I don't remember the director.
Okay. Is it going to say on here?
But he did do another prominent horror film, if I remember correctly. But no, Onibaba is great. You would love it. That's surprising.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely have heard of it, and it's Criterion, right?
Heard of it.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I got the Blu-ray. Yeah, the Criterion.
All right, very cool. All right, well let's watch the trailer and flip this camera baby around here. So that's the other side. There you go. All right, so Onibaba, Japanese horror, and definitely been waiting to see this film. Of course, one of the main things is amazing cinematography.
Amazing,
black and white.
Truly amazing. Amazing.
I know what I do know is this mask is kind of the story, right?
Yeah, and all I'll say is that the story is just a huge metaphor. It takes place during these are a poor mother and daughter, and the daughter is like having an affair with this samurai who's like genuinely not a good guy. But it's kind of just like a metaphor for like an overprotective mother always worrying about her daughter and stuff like that.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, there's a lot more to it. But
so is it supernatural or is it reality?
Well, the thing is that it starts with like reality, but it gets into like folklore and supernatural stuff.
Okay.
Then it becomes about this mask. It's like a really eerie film too. I mean, it's just like I just love when horror films prioritize the story, because a lot of the time it's not the story, it's the gore, it's like jump scares, it's, everything horror based. Like this, I feel like to call this a horror film kind of degrades it in a way, because it's
I mean it's just cool when they're done right. Drama. I mean that's the thing. Yeah, that's the good
it's
horror.
Scary, but I think it's just like a psychological.
No, I definitely I know of it. I saw there was a really good documentary about J-horror on Shudder, and of course, and anytime I hear about Japanese horror, like especially like when The Ring came out, there was a lot of talk about like what inspired it and how J-horror started and everything, and this is always brought up, and it's just one I never got to. So no, I'm glad you picked it. I'm looking forward to seeing this one. So it's just like, ooh, look at it. The imagery is amazing. That's so creepy.
They're showing a lot of stuff from the end. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know of the imagery and I know of some of those shots already, but very cool, man. All right, I'm looking forward to it. All right,
I want to rewatch it with you too. I usually don't rewatch the stuff with you, but I want to watch this one with you.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna screen this one on Bigscreen, of course, too. So come join us on Bigscreen. And I will show Onibaba. Well, Jake is not really liking the VR for more than this show time. Like hour and a half, 2 hours is too much. But no, I mean, I just like to show it. I watch films in here all the time, and I open up the room to whoever wants to join. So that's the concept. So if you're watching this cast, that's what we do. So here's the information under us here. Come join us Saturday nights, and I'll put up the dates a little closer to when we're going to actually air it, and then we'll discuss right after, as well as the film I'm going to request for you here now. Now this movie here is something that I haven't seen either. Let me flip the camera here. So I picked a film that I've been wanting to see myself, and it's a director that you haven't seen any of his work, and that's why I want to show you this. And this is the films of Jean Roland. Mm-hmm. I know you heard me bring him up before, and I've seen Jean Roland's films. I've seen a couple of them. One of my favorite is Shiver of the Vampires. So he's another one of those filmmakers. He's a French director. He was very, very popular in the 60s and 70s. But he's another one of those French directors who who brought he made vampire very hip, just like it's very stylish. And erotic, and a lot of his stories are always about like women, like he's empowering women. So a lot of his vampires are women. So him and Jess Franco were kind of known as like exploitation of like female vampires, and it's not like Franco is a lot more sex and like exploitation of sex, and Jean Rollins more. There's nudity and stuff, and there's definitely eroticism in his films.
Which one is this film, though? What is
oh, sorry, I didn't even mention. So it's Requiem for a Vampire. Requiem for a
that's
Vampire.
what I thought it said in French.
Yeah. So this is one I haven't seen yet. I've been wanting to, and I think it's from what I heard, I kind of did it wrong. And as far as like where to start with Roland, everyone says a lot of these lists and stuff said the best to start with is Requiem for a Vampire. I started with Shivers of the Vampire. So that's why I thought it'd be cool for you to see this.
I've never seen any of his films, but I heard that he's made some good ones. He made a lot of films.
Yeah,
I heard he made some good ones like gothic horror.
Yes,
so I'm excited.
His imagery is very avant-garde. It's kind of like Fellini-esque. He likes clowns for some reason. There's a lot of clown imagery and stuff.
Yeah,
he likes clowns, he likes vampires, he likes gothic. Kind of like a little bit of the Hammer vibe, but French. So. This is all new to me. I haven't seen this one yet, but like I said, he's sticking with the eroticism and vampires, that's for sure. So, yeah, this would be cool. And then, from what they say, once you start with Roland, you're gonna want to go down that rabbit hole. So, he didn't do a lot of movies. I don't know exactly the number, but I think I'm gonna say like under 20. And
I think he did a lot.
But he went into a lot of. He did go into porn. So basically, if you watch his documentary, it's a really good documentary that that came out a couple years ago, and it's they talk about how it's sad that he just never got any respect. They're talking about Argento and Fulci and all these guys who finally got the respect in years later, and he's one that kind of still hasn't gotten it.
I mean, if he hasn't got it now, he never will.
Yes, and that's the thing. It's like, well, but he is now. And that's what's finally.
I mean, not like Argento.
No,
not even like
Fulci. But for cult film fans, this is like next on the plate. This is like they're saying like we've seen it all. Yeah. We've seen it all. It's all been done. This is, I think, the next step. And Severin would have probably put all this stuff out, and who knows, maybe it is down the line on a slate, but. All these films just recently got put out again by a company called Indicator. Redemption Films out of the UK. They were the first to champion the stuff and restore all his films in HD and stuff. And they did a whole release of them. And they must have lost a license now because now Indicator is another label. They're putting way more love into it. Like. They clean everything up to 4K now, and also there's tons of different like special features and just the packaging and everything's amazing. You'll see the disc because I just bought this disc, and you'll see how they're doing it. And they got all his films now. Another one he did that's supposed to be really good, and it's probably going to be next for me. And if you like this one, maybe it'll be next for both of us. But it's called Lips of Blood, another vampire one. And then he did another one.
I like vampire films.
Yeah, like but it's just more than that. It's like they're surrealism. Yeah, I just think you're either gonna like it or not, and so this is our shot to get into them. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Seriously.
Cool. All right. Well, this will be. Well, I know we kind of got late into the month, so you're probably gonna be seeing this like late October, maybe even November. So it'll be our Halloween show, and we will see you for that. For the next one. So. That will be it. Anything else you want to add? How can we get a hold of you? What's your letterbox intake has been a lot better. So talk about that.
Yeah, it's been the numbers have been higher, but the films have been increasingly worse. Not gonna lie. But like that's fine. I was literally about to watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the remake today. I only seen the original one from the 50s. I'm not sure if the original is also like a big metaphor about communism.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I know the second one's really big on body horror as opposed to the first one. So I don't know. I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
All right. So but as far as letterbox and stuff, you have there's some stuff that you've been, what's the latest things you've been reviewing that people can read up on?
Just Friday the 13th. Watched all those. Watched all the Child's Plays. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, it's pretty much been stuck on those. Not sure what to think entirely about that, but
all right. So you did write reviews. You had like revisions of all the reviews.
Not full reviews. Only on the ones that I haven't seen. Like for example, for part 9, I wrote an entire review. For part 2, I wrote an entire review. But all the other ones, they just got like little reviews, like rewatch reviews.
All right, very cool. All right, well, for me, you can catch me on Instagram at Spacetunes, and we'll let you know what's going on with the screenings and everything else. So we will see you next month. Jake, are you ready for our tomato fight?